What is going on, everybody? How we doing? Welcome back to the Georgia Meth Show. Today, you guys, we're back with another episode. You guys, today is October 13th, 2025. We got a couple topics to talk about, discuss. We have another New York team embarrassing the city. That is the Bronx Bombers, aka the New York Yankees. We're going to be discussing their situation and all that, etc. What I think, in my opinion, they need to do because there has to be a change. We'll also be discussing a little bit about the ALCS and the NLCS. We got the Brewers and Dodgers going head to head. We also got a Seattle Mariners versus the Toronto Blue Jays, my people. So it's going to be exciting. See who goes to the World Series. We'll discuss that a little bit, give predictions and all that, etc. And then we'll also be discussing a little bit about the Jets and Dolphins, y'all. Jets are 0-6. They try to shake up the room and get a new coach, let go of Rodgers and, Devontae, and it's been absolutely horseshit. So, pardon my language, but let's get into it. All right. So, you guys know every single time we start the show, we got to do a positive vibe spread segment. So, let's discuss. Here's today's quote for today. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you love, believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. That is from the legend Steve Jobs, former Apple, I believe, CEO. So when what's it called? When I When I read that quote, I loved it because how can I put it? I always say that to people every single time. I say it every time, and it's something that I preach. What in that quote he's basically saying, for people that don't know, is that he's trying to tell you is do what you love in life, because when your hard work pays off, you're going to feel more satisfied and fulfilled with it, because it was something that you put your heart and passion into. You poured it all into it. So when I say that a lot, and specifically to people, it's do what you love in life. Don't worry about, I say it every time just because I'm trying to stay it, but I'm going to keep it like this. I would rather make less money doing something that I enjoy and love than make more money doing something I hate. So basically, I would hate going to a job every single day that I hate going to, making a bunch of money, and then vice versa. I'd rather be going to one that I love going to, even though I'm not making that much, but I love it. Why? Because eventually that hard work is going to pay off. When you are dedicated to something and you have a passion to get better and improve it, it's going to pay off as long as you grind and be consistent with it. All that is consistency. As long as you're consistent with it, you'll be successful. You just got to keep going. Understand that failures are going to happen. It's not going to just blow up and explode the first day. But understand that as long as you keep going, even after you fall and you get up and you keep walking, you're good. And I love that quote because it's very empowering. It helps people understand, because obviously work, jobs is 95% of our lifetime. 95% of the time, from when we are maybe 15, 14, 16, whatever, all the way up till you're 50, 60, 70s, you're always working. So it's a big majority of your life. You got to make sure that you're enjoying what you're doing. Now, if you're doing something young as like a side hustle, or you're doing something just to make money while you're focused on, your main career, that's fine. But understand that, find something that you love to do. If you have a passion for photography, get into camera work, learn the camera, understand, how to take quality pictures, go out, market, go out, discuss it, talk about it. Also, another good thing is social media. Post it on your platform. Go out, text people, DM people, ask them if you could take photos, everything like that. Have a passion for it. If you like barbering, get into school of barbering. If you like cars, get into car detailing, mechanic, body work. There's so many things in the industry. If you like doctor stuff, get in. But I'm gonna keep it like this: do what you like and do what you enjoy doing in life. If you like gaming, get into gaming. If you like computers, get into technology. There's a lot of lot of computer stuff, data analytics. You got cybersecurity. You got marketing, all that, coding. But I love that quote. Remember it. Do what you love to do in life. Don't care what anybody says. Understand that you're gonna fall, but get up and keep going. All right. Love that quote. That quote was goaded, but it's time to get into the show. So, we're gonna start off with the NLCS, you guys. We're gonna discuss a rematch. I don't remember what year. I think it was 2018. I think it was. We had Brewers versus the Dodgers. I remember that time. That was when Manny Machado was on the Dodgers, and he was bugging out a little bit, as we know. But he's gotten better. All that. Let's see. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. But yeah, so we got Brewers and Dodgers in the NLCS side. We got the Dodgers who beat the Phillies. Really happy about that, because that's what happens. Nick Castellanos, what the hell you doing throwing shots at the Mets? Like nobody has said anything to you at all. Juan Soto hasn't said jack shit to you to be throwing shots. Like, what are you doing, my guy? What are you doing? So it's just that's unacceptable. That's what happens. That's what you get. But yeah, so Brewers have been pretty good, We'll let that Philly situation go. They beat the Cubs, pretty good battle that they had there. 5-game series, not too bad. Now, they go up against the Dodgers, who are obviously a whole different team. They are stacked. It's going to be a challenge because so here's the thing. Let to break it down a little bit to you guys. So the Brewers obviously have gone head to head with the Dodgers this season in the regular season. They have swept the Dodgers. They're currently 6-0 against them. So I want to say Dodgers are going to win it. But I think this match could go to game 7. It's very, very interesting. It's going to be very competitive. Um, Game 1 and game 2 is in Milwaukee. So Milwaukee got, home field advantage for the beginning. But I think it's going to go a game 7. I think this series is going to be good. Milwaukee has proven that they've been pretty well. Everything is going to depend how their starters can do, how Ohtani balances out for the Dodgers, for example. We'll see. Tyler Glasnow, he did well against the Phillies his last roundabout. We got Blake Snell coming up today. So we'll see how that goes. I want to say I got the Dodgers winning it. Honestly, I think there's a good chance the Dodgers could go back to back and win the World Series again, to be honest. Think about it. This offense is just stacked from the top. You got Freddie, Mookie, Ohtani, you got Teoscar, who, he'll wet the bed out in the outfield, but then he'll come back and produce with his bat. You got the pitching staff that's phenomenal. Blake Snell, Glasnow, Yoshi Yamamoto, Roku Sasaki, who's been phenomenal out of the bullpen. You got Ohtani, who's been doing decent. It's been phenomenal. The Brewers, they have a good staff, but it's just, are they able to go that long? Obviously, I think the Dodgers are a way better team than the Cubs. So that would be the question. And also I think they're starting off a bullpen game today, the Brewers. So that'll be the ultimate question. Can their starters go a long way? I know they got Jacob, I forget his last name. He's been pretty good for them, or not good, pretty. He's been phenomenal for them. Dude pitches at like 103. I'm like, God damn. So that'll be fun. That'll be exciting to see. Also see how their offense produces. Who knows? The Brewers obviously are going into this as the underdogs. But I'm going to be honest with myself every time. I got the Dodgers going back. And I honestly think the Dodgers could win the World Series, to be honest. Just because of the competition on the other side. Now, talking about the other side a little bit, we got the ALCS. We got the Mariners and Blue Jays. Mariners already took game 1 from the Blue Jays. I know that is pretty hurt, especially at home. I saw George Springer hit a home run to start it off, and then just Blue Jays couldn't keep on the hold. So that sucks a little bit. But Blue Jays, obviously, they have one of the best offenses in baseball, you guys. They went and like destroyed the Yankees, which we'll get into after this. Now the thing is, their pitching is the weaker suit. The rotation has been a little bit shaky. They rank poorly in the metrics like the ERA, the WAR, the FIP, which is important with the pitching stats. Now the Mariners obviously are tested by their or they had a grueling game 5 against the Tigers, which I did want the Tigers Loki to win. But they got Brian Wool who returned to the rotation, so that'll be a good depth. But listen, I will say I think the Blue Jays are going to win this series. This one probably will go a game 6-7. I want to say. Um, there's a chance. Obviously, the Mariners could go. They already won one, but you got to hope that their pitching staff stays strong. That Brandon Wool, who returns strong and does well. Um, with the Blue Jays side, you just got to hope that your pitching can come together. You got Kevin Gausman. I don't know, Max Scherzer, Jose Barrios, I believe. I don't know. I gotta see. But you gotta hope that they do well. Your pitching staff hopefully can do good. Obviously, this is a whole different team. Yankees, they got a good offense, but it's a bit shaky a lot. Mariners, you got Josh Naylor, you got Cal, who's been a home run king this whole season. You got Julio. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I got the Blue Jays. I think we'll probably have a Blue Jays versus Dodgers World Series, but who knows? Hopefully Vladdy comes out and shakes up the room. Shout out Pop Smoke. So let's have a discussion about the New York Yankees. So obviously, you guys, Yankees, they got their asses kicked badly, badly. Like we're talking bad, bad. And it's just everybody, Boone, fire, Boone. Boone sucks, this and that. Hella shenanigans. Let's just put it like that. So I got to be honest. I don't think the Yankees need to fire Aaron Boone. I think it's time that we need a shakeup. And when I say shakeup, I think it's time for the Yankees to move away from Brian Cashman. And here's why. I forget who was the gentleman that said it. I forget. I think it was on the New York, not Post. It was he's on a show. I forget what his name was. But he said that the Yankees are becoming that nice restaurant that used to be popping in the 80s and the 90s. And now they're not really popping anymore because there's other nice restaurants that have the same seasoning and everything. Now the seasoning is still good, but it's just not as nice as the other restaurants because they have it outdated with, maybe the tables and everything and now how everything looks. It still looks old. And I love it because it's just, I'm going to say this. I think it's time to move on from Brian Cashman. I don't think the blame should have been on Aaron Boone. I love what A-Rod said and Derek Jeter. I think it was that the team that he got placed with was just not good. Think about it. He had to deal with 4 DHs. You had Jason Dominguez, who is absolutely horseshit in the outfield. You also had Giancarlo Stanton, who you were not going to bench for Jason. You had to deal with what was his name? Ben Rice. You had to plateau him with Paul Goldschmidt, and it's just the pieces he had working with was just not good enough. And then you had Anthony Volpe, who was just shaky the whole season. And now you have a list of players who are about to be free agents who you really got to think about. Hey, who am I going to bring back? Who am I going to sign? Etc. Etc. So I personally, if I got to be honest with how, I think it's time that the Yankees let go of Brian Cashman. I'm sorry. It's just, think about it. The last time they won a championship was in 2009. I don't honestly see them going and getting farther. Obviously, there's better teams, in their league that's getting better. The Blue Jays are just getting better. Tampa eventually down the road will be better. Astros will be better. The Tigers are obviously doing good. Seattle's obviously doing good. Texas maybe will come back and, lock in. So it's just, I don't really see them. Honestly, Royals are coming up little by little. They're still like a bit young. Orioles, I don't know what happened to them. We'll just have to wait and see. But it's just time. Honestly, I'm sorry. It's just they got to shake it up. He hasn't done anything good. The Yankees have been just getting their ass kicked. He's been getting players that just don't know how to perform. Now he's made some good trades. Don't get me wrong. You know, you got to give him credit where credit's due. But I think it's time to just shake up. I think you got to make. Sometimes you just got to make a change to improve the setting. In my opinion, that's what you just got to do. You got to improve the setting, and you got to make some changes and get some people out of there. And I think Brian Cashman is the person. Now, will they do it? Probably not. There's probably like a 5% chance that it will likely happen. But yeah, that's what I think they should do. Now, obviously, you got many players that are about to be free agents, similar to your crosstown rivals, the Mets. You got Cody Bellinger, who's going to be a free agent, who's has said not vocalized, but has been reported that said that he's going to opt out. You got Trent Grisham, who is probably who's a free agent, Paul Goldschmidt, Devin Williams, Luke Weaver, Amar Rosario, Ryan Yarbrough, Austin Slater. Team Hill has a club option, and Jonathan Loaisiga has a club option. So, as we see, Yankees have a lot of work to do, you guys. A lot of thinking. And honestly, the good thing was at least their captain showed up, obviously, was hitting the ball. He had, I think it was like a 4 something average. He was doing pretty well. Um, like I said, with Judge, I think what's just gonna kill him is those moments. I think it was like how A-Rod said, those moments is what people remember. And it's not his fault. I will give him credit. He did his best. He hit that double, the ninth inning against the Blue Jays. I'll give it to him. He did his best. Um, but the Yankees just got to make a huge change, you guys. I think front office wise, I think Boone is not the fault. Obviously, he's going to be blamed because he's the face. In terms of he's going to be the guy that's going onto the field and making that pitching change or making that substitution. But I don't think it's him. I think it's just time to let go of Brian. Um, Cody Bellinger, I could see them bringing him back. He's a nice lefty bat. He did pretty well in New York with the Yankees. Not too bad. Trent Grisham was pretty decent too. Paul, I could see maybe a 50-50 chance. Who knows? We'll see what happens. He'll probably have some moves on his sleeve. But there's got to be a big shakeup because you're about to go now into the 2026 season where you have like more than a 9-year drought where you haven't made it to, well, I think it's about to be 16 where you haven't even won the World Series. So they got to make the change. Philly is another one that they got to do something. We'll talk about that another day. But Philly, I don't even know what y'all are gonna do. Y'all are spending money and doing all of this and doing all of that just to be hella horseshit. I'll keep it like that. But we'll talk about the Phillies another day. So let's discuss about the Jets, you guys. The New York Jets, the other New York team who is off to a horrible start. They're currently 0-6 to start the season, and they're the only winless team. God, Lord George, in the NFL so far. So they're the only team, to say it like this, that are 0-6 that haven't won a single game. That is embarrassing. You should be embarrassed. You make all these changes, front office wise, player wise, just to be dog shit. When you have Breece Hall, you got Justin Fields, you got Garrett Wilson. What the heck are we doing? Sauce has been lost anyways. He's been gone. He still carries a strong reputation though, but it's just all that smack talk just for nothing. But what's been the problem? What's the issue that the Jets got going on? So their offense has been anemic. In the recent game against the Broncos, they failed to score a touchdown and had held negative passing yards in parts of the game. I will say that again. Negative passing yards in the game. That's how bad the Jets are right now, you guys. Justin Fields obviously has been taking away, heavy pressure. He's been sacked 9 times though, so that offensive line has been a bit rough. And then obviously we saw in that game against the Broncos, there was heavy tensions between Garrett Wilson and the head coach, Aaron Glenn, especially around play calls and game management. He's been a bit upset. We saw that at the halftime. It's been interesting. Defensively, the unit has been struggling itself. I think the Jets rank like near the bottom in points allowed and defensive. So I don't know what's going on with their defense. They just have not been good. One of their bright spots has been, though, like I said, was Sauce Gardner. He's been pretty good. Even though his performance has dipped, but their opposing QB are still often, you know, not really trying to throw it to him because he's still tough, to word it like that. Um, but listen, they got to step it up. They got to step it up because if not, this is just going to be another flat out face fall to the face to the Jets, literally fans. I feel bad for Jet fans because you had so much praise a couple years ago and now it just all went to shit. I could imagine that's horrible. Um, they got to do better. They have to do better. They can't. There's no way that you couldn't even beat the Broncos. Like with that team that you have, there's just no way. It don't make sense. Um, I don't think Aaron Glenn is gonna get fired. Maybe if they don't win a game, he probably will be let go, and they'll just say fudge it. But it's just it's has to be. Here's my thing with the Jets. To me, it has to be something worse because it just doesn't make sense that you fire a coach, you get a new coach, you let go of a QB, you got a new QB, you do this, you do that, you let go of this player, you get other players. It doesn't make sense that you're this bad that you try to fix it and it just gets worse. It's more than just the head coach. I think it's the owner who doesn't give a rat's ass about the team, just cares about collecting a check, and that's it. Doesn't really have a passion for the sport or the team. I think it's just we're seeing it obviously because if you try to fix something and it's not working, then you're doing something wrong. You're off to no good, obviously. Um, they just I feel bad for Jet fans. That's all I'm gonna say because if there's no improvement on this team, I don't even know what they're gonna do. They might just have to start trading Sauce, just start trading Garrett, and go back down to a whole another rebuild, which I know Jet fans do not want. Hell no, I could just imagine. Um, but there has to be some improvement, you guys, because this is crazy to me. It don't like make sense at all. Um, let me see here. All right, so that one last convict. One last topic we're gonna talk about, you guys, today is the Miami Dolphins, my people. Obviously we had Tua go out on the press conference, say what he got to say. We're about to watch it and see what's up. It's just this is gonna be interesting. Let's take a look.
Well, I think it starts with the leadership in helping articulate that for the guys, and then what we're expecting out of the guys, right? We're expecting this. Are we getting that? Are we not getting that? We have guys showing up to player-only meetings late, guys not showing up to player-only meetings. Like, there's a lot that goes into that. Do we have to make this mandatory? Do we not have to make this mandatory? So it's a lot of things of that nature that we got to get cleaned up, and it starts with the little things like that. Yeah.
So that was Mr. Tua Tagovailoa, my people, who is been pretty vocal. If we're gonna be honest, he's been pretty vocal with how poorly the Jets been playing. Obviously, they are 1-5 this year so far. They have not been doing too good. Um, it's just they lost Tyreek Hill, who's gonna be gone for a while. Who they've already possibly said that they'll be let going of next year. Um, it's just it hasn't been good. It hasn't been good. They lost to the Panthers. I believe they lost to the Chargers. It's been pretty upsetting to say the least. Tua just hasn't been too happy. I think it's just I'm surprised the Dolphins have lasted so long with their GM, honestly. Obviously I don't want to be that type of person. Oh, let's fire the GM, let's fire the manager, let him go, let that coach go. But think about it. He's been the GM for the Miami Dolphins for 7 years now. He's spent $895 million. Well, let's go back, actually. So this is because I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to do it for the Dolphins. So Tua has been frustrated with the way things have been handled. Coach is lacking and not been really on top of it. Obviously, that's not acceptable that you have players showing up late to the team meetings and not even, wanting to show up if they do. Probably just being there just to be there because they're a part of the team. Here's my thing. I think the Jets need to let go of their general manager, Mr. Chris. I forget what his last name is, but I think they need to let him go because here's the thing, you guys. He's been in the office for 7 years now as the general manager of the Miami Dolphins. He spent $895 million on free agents, has had 21 first and second round picks spent, hired 3 head coaches, and has had, listen to this, in 7 years, a 53-52 regular season record. I will say that again, a 53-52 regular season record. With how many playoff wins? 0. 0. I think it's time that you let this guy go. There is no way that you're almost 100 million or 95 million, or let's say you're almost there to spending $1 billion and you haven't even won a playoff game, my people. A playoff game? You got to let this guy go. You got to make a move. Why are the Dolphins still with this guy? He's been there with 7 years and has had almost $1 billion spent on free agents just for everything to go to shit. And has had 21 first and second round picks spent. That has been dog shit. That hasn't got them nowhere. I think the thing was with the Dolphins, they needed to get rid of Tua. Obviously, Tua's on a 50-50 mark where if he gets hit by like a Nick Bosa or a Joey Bosa or Aaron Donald, for example, at the time, he was going to be done. But they've kept him strong and all that, and it's just obviously he's not performing. He's been talking a lot and all that and being vocal as a leader, which is respectable, but he's just not that good. He's not. And you got a nice offense to be playing this bad to where you don't even have one playoff win. You got Jalen Waddle, you got Devon A-Chain. You got a pretty good team to not be playing, but to start off the season, for crying out loud, 1-5. And then, yeah, you guys have been good, decent the last couple of years, but you make it to the playoffs and forget how to play football. You got your ass kicked by the Chiefs. You got their ass kicked about the Bills. You go and play in cold places, and you guys just forget how to catch or do shit. And nobody knows how to block. Everybody just rattles off. I think it's time to make a change. I think they need to do something, you know? There's no way that you're playing this bad with that type of offense and that whole team you got. I think it's just they got to make a move. They had opportunities too to, trade them. Or not trade them, but at least go out and get somebody else. But this is just, it's not good. It's going to be interesting because now Tyreek Hill's going to want to be gone, or is going to be gone from what they're saying. Who knows, though? It's just being reported, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. We'll see what ends up happening and all that, etc. Wrap it up here, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, stay humble, stay blessed, stay positive, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.